Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brian Matthews, your host of Sykalogics, and I'm here pre-Thanksgiving. And oh, by the way, I've been working out for the last couple of days because, I know tomorrow's going to be an overindulgence, and I'm going to get into a tryptophan coma. So we're going to have some fried turkey, deep fried turkey, as well as some traditional turkey. But I'm just throwing that out at a context. Reason being, this is not about politics today, people, so we're jumping back into the sports arena. Now, for those who don't know, my favorite football team is the Dallas Cowboys. I hear the boos all around the world. You know what? Why don't you bring four fingers, your two to your left, two to your right, point them at yourself, and leave that one up, and that's for you. Ha, if you know what that means. Anyway, there's two teams that I follow religiously, two teams that I just lose my mind over. First team being a college team, LSU. Second team, of course, is the Dallas Cowboys. And let me just touch on the LSU topic real quick, just before I get into everything else I need to talk about. So, recently, I've just found out, which is as of this morning, LSU is now ranked number 2. They were bumped by Ohio State. Ohio State is ranked number 1. Now, I think that's bull hockey because everybody knows, and once again, you can go ahead and boo if you like, that the SEC is the toughest conference to date. Now, I'm not saying the Big 10, Big 12, Pac, or whatever have showed glimmers. An ACC, glimmers of hope of being better than the SEC. No way, no bueno, not happening. So this was going to happen. Right now, I want to say Jim Harbaugh has never beat Ohio. But this weekend, they're going to beat Ohio. LSU is going to beat Georgia and go back to number 1. I have said it. I have spoken. It's time to get it on. So, rumor has it potentially Jason Garrett may be fired this Friday if by chance they do not beat a resurgent Bills team. Now, the Bills team that is playing this year is probably one of the better Bills teams in the past. So it's not going to be an easy hill to climb, but I do believe Vegas is projecting Dallas to win by a touchdown. So they're highly favored, if you want to say by a touchdown, is highly favored to win. So here's my thing. After their loss to the Patriots, which was the only game Vegas actually, of the last 6 games that they were supposed to play top contending teams or playoff bound teams, the only one that they weren't favored to win was to the Patriots. And by far is the one they probably should have won. I'm not going to even talk about the bad call because bottom line, if you were whooping the snot out of them like you were supposed to, that bad call wouldn't have been a factor. So that loss is on you. But Jerry Jones has gone out, has overspent money. He paid Zeke Elliot, Amari Cooper, La'el Collins, Jalen Smith. That's just to name 4. He didn't pay Dak, though. I don't know if that was a smart business move or not, but Dak is still showing out. And even though throughout the losses, Dak is still balling. And he still think that he was in caliber for MVP. The rest of the team just not following along. But they're saying due to his last loss and all the frustrations with Jason Garrett, Jerry Jones potentially would have fired him on Monday if it wasn't the traditional Thursday ball game for Thanksgiving. But if they lose tomorrow, Jason Garrett could be fired as of Friday. Now, here's my thing. They're talking about running out and getting Lincoln Riley or Greg Roman and maybe potentially Chris Richard, have him coming as interim to finish out the year. So as for Lincoln Riley, now, Barry Switzer has come out and said he ain't leaving Oklahoma. He's not going to leave. He's making too much money there. He would actually make less as a coach for the Dallas Cowboys. And no one really wants to work per se for Jerry Jones because he's a micromanager and he has to have his fingers in everything. So that's kind of one of those things. Would he want to go ahead and jump into the legacy and to the Dallas Cowboys, which is America's team? I got my hand on my heart. I'm looking to the left over my shoulder if you can see it now. Dallas Cowboys, the name Just like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, the name is sequential to United States of America. That's why they call it America's team. They try to say the Packers were America's team. Wrong. Whoever said that, go back to Wisconsin, eat your cheese. Not happening. Dallas Cowboys. But I digress. Now listen, Dak hasn't been paid yet, but Dak's going to get paid because he's balling. He's balling out, and you can't give the man nothing but respect. Now, here's the thing. There are four coaches who have coached over 50 games, and not won a conference title. Now, two of these coaches that I'm going to name have been fired at least once for poor performance. So I'm thinking, why would you hire somebody who's just been fired because they sucked at the last team? What do you think? This team is going to be that much better? Wrong. That's just the whole thing about insanity. You know, doing the same thing, the same way, over and over again and expecting a different result. If you're going to hire a substandard team on your team, or hire a substandard coach, put him on your team, you're going to have a substandard team. Bottom line. So this is why I'm saying Jason Garrett, who has been pitifully poor, don't know why. He was a backup to Troy Aikmen. He wasn't really a winner. Unlike, John Harbaugh, the fact that he was like a kicker or something like that, who doesn't have the mentality, he's an anomaly. He's the unicorn. All right. I love if y'all didn't know, I also like the Baltimore Ravens. And I was really pissed off when the Colts left in the middle of I'm not going to get into that. That's a rant. Anyway, this thing's starting to get too long. But anyway, those names, Pat Sherman, Adam Gase, Bill O'Brien, and Jason Garrett. Now, Bill O'Brien, he's got 92 games without a conference championship. Jason Garrett has 147 games without a conference championship. And the first two, they've both been fired at least once. And I can almost guarantee Bill O'Brien, he might be making his way out. And, well, Jason Garrett, he's fighting for his life. So fight for your life, Charlie Brown. But, hey, this is the Pop-Up Podcast, just tossing that stuff out there. So if you agree that Jason Garrett should be fired, man, just leave a comment below. And once again, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe to the podcast. I'm trending on 7 podcast sites, to include Facebook, as well as I put the video version of it on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed, just go to my Facebook page, where you can go ahead and click the link that's directly to the right, and it'll automatically subscribe you to my YouTube page. But until Friday, when I come back and say, hey, Jason Garrett, you're fired, or Cowboys, woo, woo, one of those two, we'll see. But I'll go ahead and hit y'all up on Friday, which will be Black Friday. Until then, this is Brian Matthews, your host of Sykalogics, and I'm out.